Wow, it's Doughboys Double. I'm Tiger Weiger along with the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell.
Wags.
Mitch.
We're here.
Send in the clowns.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Those happy, sappy clowns.
You know what I prefer over that
Send in the soulful and doleful, schmaltz by the bowlful. Clowns.
It's like you came backwards.
Send in the clowns.
That was really, that's on camera.
They're already here.
Doesn't Barney sing that at some point?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe Krusty does.
The dinosaur?
Sorry.
I think it's Krusty. I think it's Krusty.
Oh, it's Krusty.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
That would make more sense.
That
Boy,
makes
what a
more sense.
horror movie that is. Barney just coming at you, sending the clowns.
Barney does have a mellifluous singing voice, as established in the Barbershop Quartet episode.
I'll tell you what I like better than that. Because there's some sad things known to man. The tears of a clown.
Oh, yeah.
Smokey Robinson.
Yeah, I was doing a very bad Smokey Robinson.
I would not do a Man of Color's voice, personally. Wow, what a way to start this off.
You got your Cleveland Brown impression?
Peter. Wait, that was kind of, that was Lois.
That was more Lois.
They're very close. Cleveland and Lois are very close.
They kind of are.
I shouldn't have tempted Smokey Robinson just in general. He's very, he can hit the high notes. I cannot hit
one
the
of
high
the
notes.
great singers.
One of the greats. Yeah. I love Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got some mic issues here.
Emma loves Smokey too. I'm talking about the kind.
She likes to
The
smoke
sticky
weed.
icky.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't make you enjoy the joke anymore.
Thank you for explaining that. That's right. I'm like 10 years older and look better than both of you. Christ.
Our guest is a stand-up who some have called the father of modern clowning here in L.A. Chad Damiani is here. Hi, Chad. Thanks so much for being
Just
here.
to be clear, that was NPR that said that.
Wow, NPR. Okay.
Yeah, NPR, get it right, Wags.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
And Nick, Mitch,
Yes.
always a pleasure to see you.
Always a pleasure
Yeah.
to see you as well. I've done your show a couple times, Stand Up and Clown. I've had a blast.
Yeah.
And it's funny because right before this, you're like, I'm just being a regular guy today, but then you started off roasting us completely, which is what I want.
Oh, I
That's
just
what
felt
want.
the cameras. I almost met you once. So we were at Dynasty Typewriter.
Okay.
And you had done what seemed like a pretty successful Doughboys taping, except for you, because you were kind of wandering around apologizing to just random
Yes,
people.
Classic Mitch,
this
yeah.
sounds
Do you remember
like me
this?
after a show.
You were
Yes.
just like, I'm sorry. I was like, boy, everyone seemed happy. And you had this post-show energy of like, you were always doing something. And so it's like, oh, I want to go over. And then I'd watch you and you just wander into a space
The
where
abyss.
like, it was all a trick. I think it was a trick.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, I've been talking for hours.
Yeah.
I don't want. So, but you always did this thing. It was really interesting. You go, and you'd move in a direction and then I'd watch and then no one would be there. And you wouldn't do anything. It's really a good tactic.
You look
You
look
really
busy,
broke
you
down
look preoccupied.
post-show,
sure.
Doughboys post-show.
You apologize.
Me apologizing, him
Trying to-
staring into
speak to you.
space. That is kind of what happened.
Well,
Well,
it's fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
I feel like your talk meter hits 0 at the end of a Doughboy show.
The pipes are a little worn out. The brain's a little
Yeah.
mushy.
Yeah.
I will socialize with people. I'll say hi to well wishers. I'll give fans a moment.
He'll say hi to well-wishers.
But I do have, I will sometimes like, hey, if I can retreat a little bit, if I can find a little bit of a private space for a moment to myself, I'll take that too. And one technique to do that is, you look a little harried, you look a little overwhelmed, you look like you got something to do.
Can I give you an immediate clown boss read on
Please.
you? Okay, just generally benevolent, wants to do the right thing, but an underwell of resentment that is constantly building all the time.
This is good. This is good
Right?
stuff.
No, for sure.
You definitely look at situations. Here's an example. I'd say this is like a Weiger moment. Like as someone who just reads people, you're that guy at a concert that the person in front of you keeps bumping into you, and you think to yourself, "Well, I'm not going to say anything. This person doesn't even know they're doing it. They seem like they're having a good time." But then deep down, just a rage is growing inside. you.
Sure, yeah.
And then you feel completely taken advantage of. Like that's kind of your energy.
Right.
Mitch
I think
looks
it's
so
pretty good.
satisfied.
I think it's pretty good, except I wouldn't go to a concert.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, this is a grocery store or something.
Yeah.
And I also don't think it's like so
Why
bad.
would someone at a grocery store bump into you 50 times?
It's like, with him, I feel like it could
Just
be
in line at
possible.
Air Ones and just drinking their beaver, and you're like, it's fine, they're having fun.
I think that I think it's so buried down with you that he doesn't even recognize the resentment.
And that's why I say underwell, because there's a well, and a well we have access to.
Sure.
But an underwell is the well under the well.
Oh, how about that?
And you can't access it, and you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
So you just kind of, you think you let it die, but it's just still there, buried.
It's just subconsciously informing my disposition.
Yes.
That's fascinating.
Can I tell you the first thing he said to me the first time I did stand up and clown? I don't know if you remember this, but you called me a dirty pile of laundry.
Yes.
Was that the one I was at that you did with
Yes.
Beavers?
Yeah. And I had a blast. It was a fun
awesome.
show.
Yeah.
It was.
I know, but it's such a funny juxtaposition. You're like, you said I was just garbage. I really thank you for the opportunity.
Well, since we just mentioned it, talk through Stand Up and Clown. Like, what is the show for people who, some of our listenership is in LA. A lot of our listenership comes out to LA, may want to check out the show. What is it exactly?
It's a show I have been developing since 2019. What happened was I was trying to do classes.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was at the stage where I just left screenwriting, so I was resentful that I was teaching. Now I love it. But like there's that thing of like, I got to do this other thing for money.
Right.
I'm sure you two feel this with this podcast.
Yeah.
You're like, why?
You told me, I also want to tell you something very funny that I think you also said this at the show.
Mm-hmm.
You said that we had met before years ago, and I when you were doing
my
a show,
improv coach.
I was an improv coach, and you said to me that I was the worst improv coach you ever had,
This
which
is so
also
true.
I kind of take pride in slightly.
Yeah.
I was okay.
Honestly, I would too. It was this weird apartment in Laurel Canyon, and we had a different coach, and they're like, I can't make it, but Mike Mitchell, and we were like, oh, and I was early in UCB. And I was like, I had a professional career, but you know how when you start improv, that seems to be most important. Like,
Sure.
Yeah,
like,
sure,
you have
right.
this whole real thing happening, and you're like, oh, and we're like, oh, he's on a Herald Night, and he's like got this successful sketch group. And you just sat in this chair, and you'd watch these scenes, and you just nod, and then we finish, and you go, yeah, yeah, that seems
That was
not. I literally through the 2 hours, you gave not one constructive note or
Wow.
a specific piece of praise. Just you'd be like, yeah, yeah, dipshit. We know we did a scene because we stopped.
But now I'm sure you get this now. I'm sure you get where
Now you're one of my heroes.
I think a hard thing. I mean, like I think immediately I knew that that improv coaching wasn't for me. I tried to do sketch teaching for a while, which I think I was better at. But my issue with improv coaching always, not that this was an issue for you guys, you were a very funny group.
You don't remember. Don't you dare pretend.
Well, you're a
remember.
very funny man. So that's.
He remembers every. Why don't you tell us about a couple of the scenes that
there
you
were
liked the
so
most?
many great. There was one at like a supermarket, and there was one at church that was really good that day.
It's like a psychic being like, you have a relative who has died.
I believe there was one on the Moonwags.
Wow,
There was really
okay. It
fun
got
stuff that
heightened.
happened there.
This
It got
sounds
heightened.
right.
Yeah.
This sounds like work I would have done.
But here's the thing: you watch, if you watch a good improv scene, you're like, hey, that was good, and you could have done this or that or whatever. And then if you watch a bad improv scene, I don't want to say this is my issue with coaching ever. I feel like I don't want to be like, well, that like just wasn't very fun, And there is a thing with improv, or I'm sure with clowning or anything, there is a thing of like, there's some people who just are, aren't there is a thing of like, is this a funny is that mean to say?
No, I mean, I think that's the whole thing. Like, you can learn the technique to a certain degree, but it's like, if you're not an athlete, like I could have an NBA caliber shooting coach, and I'm never going to be able to shoot 3-pointers at a 40% clip like a pro player. Like I don't have the athleticism. I don't have the skill. I don't have the hand-eye coordination. It doesn't matter how many reps I get. I'm just never, there's a ceiling for my ability. And that's the case with any sort of talent. That's certainly the case with the creative stuff,
I don't
which is
want
a
to
little
get
bit more
any
abstract.
shooting coach, to be clear.
I think that what you learn when you start doing clown is also it's just always about the actor and never about the idea.
Mhm.
And that's where, looking back, it's like, oh, if you could have said this or you could have said that, but it's like, who says it and how? when they say it.
Sure.
And so, like, I totally agree with you. Like, if I'm teaching or live directing and a scene, like, I'll try to play along, play in, like, I'll be yelling and I'll be part of it. But to act like you're going to be this presence from the outside and imagine what a future would have held because you present the ideas different.
Sure.
It's fiction.
Yes, yeah.
Now, I can tell you, I could be like, Mitch, you're way out of breath and it's too soon, which sounds probably like a real no.
I mean, it did happen at that class.
It happened many times.
It happened at
Both
that class.
times when you're
a very physical show, I would say.
Yeah.
I think I got COVID that week.
Oh.
Or like maybe.
You
got it
had
at
been in
the show.
You had been in Vegas.
Oh,
and
I've
then
been
you
in
did
Vegas.
the show.
So to be clear, I brought COVID to your show.
Oh, it's a very full show.
It was a very full show.
Then we recorded and I got COVID. Is that what happened?
That is
That was
true.
a sequence.
You gave-
Okay, got it. Yeah.
I gave Weiger COVID.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
That's all right.
No, but even that, like even me saying like you're out of breath, that's me playing. Like there's no purpose to notes at all.
Yeah.
Like there's only like can we make this moment work?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like let's just keep the games. It's an infinite game. And we're tricking the audience into thinking that like it begins and ends just so they feel that comfort. But as long as they're watching and taking it in, it's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you're totally right. Like you could have said like, what if you said this? Who knows? And or you could have said, do this differently. So yeah, in general, I have a complicated relationship with improv because I do feel like it's more about masking, like it's more about protecting people from being themselves than it is about finding ways for people to be on stage.
Sure.
And I think the real greats just jump right over that and they're so clearly themselves all the time. I think you do that, but I think you
That's
never
very kind of you.
You never think Mitch isn't Mitch in improv.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, we're just enjoying Mitch doing the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we should always be shooting for.
Yeah.
But to talk about like the minute details, that's just a waste of time.
Yeah. One thing I always found, and this is pertinent to podcasting as well, and it's also just pertinent to real life interactions, is that sometimes you'll find someone who's just like, you're just not listening to the other person. And if you don't have that connection, like that's always a thing I feel like you can direct of just like this person said this and you didn't even respond to it, you didn't even acknowledge it, you didn't even utilize that information, But also like you're right that who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Ultimately.
Sorry, what I didn't listen to you. What were you saying?
Mitch.
Classic.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back right after these messages. Hey, we're back.
Wow.
Oh, wait, we're gonna do something funny?
No.
Oh, okay.
Me? What are you talking about? Well, we got a lot more about clowning to say, but I want to step back to a different sort of a sphere of entertainment. You arrived wearing a WCW windbreaker.
Wow.
I complimented you on it,
Yes.
and you informed me that you worked there in its heyday through the end of its run.
5 years.
Wow.
Wow.
World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, and your fan base probably has some wrestling fans.
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, when they're not out doing raves, wrestling sounds like something.
Wrestling fans
They
and
might-
ravers.
Yeah, I was in New York and I had been in Atlanta for a while on this really like cursed project. This is like 1996. It was called Spiv.
Okay.
And I was like fresh out of college and they had hired a bunch of us to build a online network / website. And this is like during modem. So like it was just a cursed project. Like we had this we built this massive website. No one could upload it or I guess they download it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
you had a dial-up connection, and it's like for our younger listenership, it's impossible, probably the people sitting behind the dais, it's impossible to even understand how slow a dial-up
had
connection
dial-up.
was. You did have dial-up.
So
Amelia, did you have dial-up?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that-
iOS startup.
She talks the talk.
yeah, she really does.
Yeah.
So also,
It would
I
literally
just-
like load line by like
Yeah.
pictures would load like. In fact, I had this thing.
I just also want to point out that you taught Amelia. Is that correct?
Well, I don't like that verb. I endured Amelia for a class. I had this trick I would do because the downloads were so slow.
Yeah.
That I had this like really like a picture of one guy eating another guy's ass. And I would name it like Bill's wedding. And then I would send an email and say, hey, I found this photo. And man, and I'd send it to my friends' work emails. And the thing is, once you start back then, when you start downloading a photo, there's no getting out of it. Like, it was not like now where you just escape. It's like you had to wait. And so slowly but surely, It would start with just like a man's back with his head turned. And you're like, what's going on here? And like about 2 minutes later, you start to see the top of another. Yeah. And I would just send this to everyone. I would keep renaming it. I'd wait 6 months, send it to the same person again and be like, did you see what so-and-so did with their house?
He's gonna ask you for that photo when this episode ends.
Making my lock screen. That's like a proto goatsy. Before people were doing that.
I was way ahead of myself.
Wow.
So wait, when?
So you're working at Spiv. You're in Atlanta.
Yes.
It's a dial-up project, and then this leads to WCW.
And we're at William Street where they're making all the like cool cartoons for like, which I don't know if they're Adult Swim yet. I think they're Cartoon Network.
Sure.
I meet the webmasters for WCW. So then I go to New York and I try to be. I was going to say I try to be a struggling playwright, but I succeeded at being a struggling playwright. Never got anywhere. And they reached out and they said, "Hey, listen. This thing called the NWO is starting, which is called New World Order. And this was going to be the big thing that changed everything for the company. And they wanted to have a hotline also for younger viewers, 1-900 number, $2 a minute, and they would make tens of millions of dollars a year. People would call, although I will tell you that they had tons of lawsuits because often like special needs people would call every single day.
And then just stay.
And so then they would sort of and I remember
you just remember like our country is horrible in many ways.
It's always been bad.
Yeah.
It just had different ways to bilk people out of money back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And there was a time very early on where we were using a 1-900 hotline to do announcing, and so people could call in, and every other person with special needs. And I'm just like, oh, no one knows this call is happening and stuff like that. And we would just keep them on as long as we could.
Oh,
honestly.
God.
Oh, my God.
No, I mean, we'd let them, we'd talk about wrestling and stuff like that. But anyway, they said, we have this proposition. It's crazy, and you probably won't make a bunch of money, but I know you're struggling up there. We have an NWO hotline, and it's Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan at the time. Scott.
Rest in power.
Rest in power. Scott Hall, rest in power.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Nash, Randy Savage, and I forget who the last one was, but they're like, they've agreed to record messages every day.
Was it X-Pac? Who was the first member? Do you know?
It might have been X-Pac because that would make sense as the 5.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're going to record a 10-minute message every day, but just in case they promised us.
Yeah.
Just in case they don't do it, check at midnight. Because then the message will roll over. And if it does, we have to refund everyone's money if they call 2 days in a row. So they promised us, but just check at midnight and we'll give you this is 1996. We'll give you $150 to record a 10-minute message, but you might only get to do one a month or even less. And I'm like, that sounds great. These guys never recorded a single message.
Of course, yeah.
Every night, midnight, and I'd have nothing prepared. So then me and my roommate would just do like a wrestling play. Like I would play an announcer and we would have like fake characters. Like we had this person called Lay Interrupter, and the whole bit was just I would try to interview this was my future writing partner. I'd be like, I heard in this match, and they go, yeah, we do this for 10 minutes.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then we had a more problematic two South Asian Indians pretending to be like indigenous Indians.
This sounds like 1996 comedy.
Oh, if only Kill Tony was around.
Yeah, it's back. It's come all the way around 30 years later.
And so we were doing, and like no one was complaining because they were like, well, it's something.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And this guy's, and I was making a ton of money.
I'm looking up NWO, by the way. I'm not being rude and just looking at my phone.
And what I didn't realize was back in Smyrna, Georgia, that's where the office was.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had to listen to make sure I did it, right? So there's this whole chain. I listen at midnight, then someone at the office has to listen to make sure I did my job. And it was just like we were making fun of the show. So then this hotline I was doing became like required listening. So like 30 people would gather in the big drawing room and they would listen to our 10-minute stupid thing we did high as kites the night before. So then this story's a little long, but it's worth it. This culminates in they're going to do the first ever pay-per-listen. And I'm not saying that wrong. It was going to be an audio recording with an image refreshed every 5 seconds because we were going to do this big special event at Boston Garden.
Wow.
And it was going to be the end match was Sting and I don't think it was Randy Savage yet. I remember Sting and Lex Luger against the Outsiders, who were Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. And they were going to just put this over the internet to see if they could make money. I'll flash forward. they almost made like $100,000 and the whole system crashed because so many people wanted
Wow.
to do it, and which made it just a failure.
But you're saying update the image every 5 seconds, like there was not streaming video yet,
Yeah,
obviously.
just
so
an
basically
image.
still images of this match accompanied by live commentary.
Right. So
Got
they go, we have so little money. Would you take the train, because I was living in New York, up to Boston Garden and run cable for us? And I was like, oh, are you kidding? Like, I was a fan.
Yeah.
So I go up there, and I'm up there. I'm running cable. I'm like, I just seeing the wrestlers. I'm so excited. And 5 minutes before airtime, sold out Boston Garden, by the way.
Wow.
It's
This is a
super
dream.
hot. And
My
they,
dream.
they come up to me and they go, we've got some bad news. Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah.
For the first time in his career, just got food poisoning. He had I remember, bad chicken focaccia sandwich at the Marriott. Like, I remember everything about this moment. And I'm literally doing this thing, which is not how you're supposed to do it, by the way, because I just saw it in a movie. So I'm like, this must how you.
Wait, how are you supposed to do it?
You should never put tension on a cable where it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be, or ever really. So
Yeah.
You shouldn't wrap around your elbow.
Yeah.
You should curve. You should wrap it with its natural curve. They usually
Got it.
have a natural.
And
curve.
I was literally
And
just.
there's a way to rig it so that you can throw it and it will uncurl without tangling.
I was doing none of that. That sounds amazing.
Wrap it with his natural curve. Sounds like me putting on a condom.
So I'm just listening to this.
Jesus.
I'm just listening to this person
Magnum.
tell me this, thinking they're just like bemoaning their bad
Yeah,
luck.
sure.
I'm in jorts, construction boots. I had this pirate thing I was doing back then, and like a chimay shirt and like a skull cap tied. Like, I'm just a guy in the back, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry. So I guess Mark Madden, who's a Pittsburgh sports guy, he was the other guy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, so Mark's going to do it, and they're like, no, you have to go. out.
This is insane.
This
This
is
is where I
wild.
thought it was going. This is insane.
Just a little context for our listeners who don't know wrestling. Please describe Mean Gene Okerlund, legendary figure.
I mean, probably I'd say the most iconic interviewer of all time.
Yes.
About 5'5", bald with a mustache, the deepest baritone you can imagine. And he's part of like an epic series of interviews with Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, and also one of the funniest guys.
Yeah.
Um,
If you watched wrestling in this era, you knew this person, like you were very aware of them. They were like a famous sportscaster, like a Bob Costas and Al
Oh, yeah.
Who's a more
Howard
contemporary.
Cosell.
Howard
More
Cosell.
contemporary. I didn't
Yeah,
get that.
yeah.
Oh, Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, when I was back there, I kept looking for him because that's the person I was most excited to meet. But he wasn't there. He was, I'm sure at an ER, there was no urgent care. And they're like, you have to go do it. I'm like, what? And they're like, these hotlines are the closest thing to, I've never announced anything. I never went to school for it. So like, it was all so fun. I'm just walking down the aisleway of Boston Garden.
Insane.
It's packed. People are screaming. And I'm just walking. I hadn't even been out there. I was just running cable in the back. And I sit down next to this guy, Mark Madden, huge, like obnoxious asshole of a guy. Still that guy. I don't know if he's even working anymore, but he was just like loud and gruff. And he's like, who the fuck are you? And I'm just like, I'm an announcer. Like, I couldn't even get that out. And I'm just putting the headset on. I don't even know how to put it on.
Sounds
Wow.
like you're describing me, honestly.
But you're a kind giant.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So I remember the match starts. I don't know what
What
I'm
was
doing.
that? You want me to acknowledge you're a kind giant?
Would you please?
You're sometimes a kind giant.
If it keeps the story going, would you just
Yeah,
say it?
yeah. You're not often a BFG.
Thank you. Wait, what? Oh, go on.
Big friendly giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what you were saying, but you said I'm not often a BFG.
No, he said you're often a BFG.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you. Okay, continue on with your story.
I don't know what to say. And so Mark, who, like I said, is a steamroller, he just starts talking over me and he's just like gabbing and gabbing. And I'm like, I lost it. I had this great job as this, in New York, I was getting $150 a night to do almost nothing. I blew it. And I was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to make fun of this. I'm just going to have fun. I'm stuck out here. And I'll never forget, it was Greg the Hammer Valentine, who also is like an old-time star. And he was old even then,
Yeah.
in 96. And he had a claw hammer on the back of his tights, like a full claw hammer right over his ass crack. And I just started going, isn't that a little crazy? And Mark's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, have a hammer on the back of your short? What's that even mean? Like, he's got this hammer back there. I'm like, what is he, like, is that the threat to us? Or is it don't threaten me with a good time. Like, and Mark starts laughing, but he's like, oh, I don't know what this guy, like, and I just started having fun with it. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are backstage. There's nothing to do. There's no catering. There's no one to talk to. And they're just listening to the broadcast. And they saw themselves as being like snarky, fun, By the way, now that I know they were like in their early 40s, it's all the more embarrassing. Like how, like they were just like guys, they'd come out and they'd be dancing, stuff like that. And so all of a sudden I hear their voices in my headset, and because they want to like riff with us, and they spend the entire broadcast watching from a monitor, and the four of us just make fun of every single match.
Wow.
That rules.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. They're in the last match. It's this cage match. It's Sting, who I don't think shows up because he's doing the thing where he's about to disappear. Lex Luger. It ends with this sort of beatdown of the good guys. It's a cage match. They start throwing food, and now like Nash comes over and he's like feeding me curly fries through the fence, and like I'm like one of them, and I'm like yeah. And I left thinking I was just going to be obviously fired. And a week later, they reach out and they offer me a contract, like a monthly contract. And then from that point on, I was with the company till it closed.
I had no idea about this.
That is wild.
This is insane.
And you were a part of the announce team?
So I was like a fifth string announcer.
Got it.
So what they wanted ultimately was to split the product in half. And a bunch of us were being primed to be the NWO announcers for this. So they were going to double the shows.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of the marketing, is like, it's a renegade promotion. And we have our own announcers and our own referees. And that quickly fell apart, but we were already on contract. So then I started doing broadcasts via the website so international listeners could keep up with the product.
Oh, got it. Okay.
At the time, there weren't so many international deals.
Right.
So we were often the only way someone in Europe or China or anywhere could hear the product. So I was being flown everywhere to do this stuff. For a while, I had a show called Backstage Blast. And that was on DirecTV, and we just kind of vamp during the commercials as if it was extra content, but in truth, we had nothing to talk about, and we do interviews and stuff like that. I was the last guy Rick Rude ever worked with before he died.
Oh my God.
This is wild. I had no idea.
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Who was one of my favorites.
Is he really?
Oh, I just thought he was one of the best, like in terms of working an audience.
Yeah, he was great. So Ravishing Rick Rude, again for a non-wrestling fan audience, basically his gimmick is that he'd be like this a hot guy in 80s terms.
Yeah.
Meaning he'd have like,
He kind of looked like a really jacked Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, 100%. The big mustache, a little bit of the slight mullet, a very chiseled physique. But basically his gimmick was he'd go out there and the idea was that your wife wanted to fuck him, and so you boo him. It's like, you're not going to fuck my wife.
Oh, and he was like,
I love an audience member getting pissed off. You can't fuck my wife, fuck you. All pissed off.
He would do the hip swivel.
Yeah.
Like a real like gross hip swivel. And sometimes if he was in a feud with someone who had a female valet, he'd put their face on his tights and he'd just grind
1996.
Oh my God. It was like foul, but
bring it back. Bring back
Bring
the
it back.
90s.
Oh, wait, it's back? It is back. It's back.
It is
Yeah.
back.
Oh,
It's worse.
I got good news for you. It's
really
double
bad.
the 90s. We took 80s Coke, added it to the 90s.
Removed any sort of fun, any semblance of fun.
The first night I worked with Rick Rude, and this is probably my favorite story of all my wrestling stories. We were at the Metrodome, and he was from Minneapolis, and he was a god in Minneapolis. So you had the Hennings and Rick Rude and a bunch of those. They all came up in the AWA, and he was a god, but he had collected some money from Lloyd's of London. And I don't know all the details, but he wasn't allowed to wrestle. Now, maybe he couldn't, but there was some talk that he just was stuck because he took money and he couldn't figure out how to get back into the ring.
He had like an insurance payout for some in-ring injury or something like that, and he was forbidden from doing it. Got it.
By the way, might have been legitimate, but that was the scuttlebutt backstage that like Rick was trying to figure out a way to not give the money back. So they were training him to be an announcer, and that's what Backstage Blast really was about. Was I got to work with the $1 Million Man.
Wow.
And all these great, and I was kind of there just so they could learn how to do color. I was certainly not teaching them. I didn't know anything. But it was at least an opportunity to be on the desk.
They were getting reps.
That's fucking crazy. But by the way, Kevin Nash, great politics. He's one of the wrestlers that's really good.
One of the few.
Yeah.
And it was always really nice to me.
Oh, it's great.
So we come in, they go, we got a surprise for you guys because it's Rick and because it's the Metrodome, which doesn't even exist anymore. They built us this 4-story riser that we had to climb a little metal ladder to get to the top of. I'd say it was about the size of this, maybe 2/3 of this studio. It was very tiny, just a desk and a camera to film us. And it was the most terrifying thing. The rails were so low that what I realized was if my chair went back too fast, the rail would actually send me to my death.
Oh my
Right?
God.
And I was like, oh, this can't be right. And my legs were shaking. And so I'm like, it's fine. I'm just going to sit at this desk. I'm not going to move. I'll be careful. But my heart was already racing. The place is packed. And we start to call the show, and it's bad. The show in general is just not one of our best. And Rick's bored. He doesn't like to talk about other people. He wants to talk about himself. And it's just becoming more clear and clear. And then at one point during a match, and I remember it was a guy named Van Hammer versus another guy named Ron Reese. And these are like two, they're not good wrestlers. There's a lot of, I won't use any.
Doughboys of wrestling.
Perfect. Except with a little charisma.
Oh, sure, yeah. Right.
So, no, I mean, none, actually. The big story with Van Hammer that's funny is he ripped a guy's tricep. He dropped a guy and ripped his tricep, a guy named Conan, and then it was all his fault, and he went back, and this guy was going to be out for a year, and Van Hammer's like, brother, just pray with me for a second. And this is how, and Conan's furious, and he grabs Conan's hands, and he goes, give Conan the strength you've given me. Make Conan as strong and diligent as I am. Like, so it's all like a promo for him. This guy's literally, we could see his tricep like wrapped under. So anyway, this match is going on. It is terrible. So already Rick's bored. When the good stuff's happening, he's bored here. And he looks at me, and this is on, I don't have a copy of it because it all got lost when we were liquidated. But he goes, I bet I can get this whole arena chanting my name in under 2 minutes. And I'm just like, and by the way, we don't have a feed. Like, they can't hear us or anything like that. And so I don't know. I'm like, okay. And he goes, do you see that woman down there? And this woman was so far away. And he goes, see that woman? I'm just going to stare at that woman. And he starts staring at this woman. And she's got a guy next to her. And he's not moving. He's not like waving his arms. And I see from a distance, and they're just like little peas. I see the guy next to her go, starts to figure it out. And he stands up. I can't even hear him. He's like, hey. And then I could see,
you're not gonna fuck my wife.
100%. And then the people around him are like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So in this very little section, they're like, oh my God, Rick Rude's staring at his girlfriend or wife or whatever. And it's kind of growing a little bit, but it starts to die down. And so then all he does is he just pushes his chair back a little bit. And I don't know, it's like a magic trick. What was 40 people becomes 400 people. Just enough to draw everyone's, because they were losing interest. And they're like, oh no, he is reacting to us. And then it grows a little bit more, it starts to die, and then he just stands up. And then and you could see the guys in the ring are literally like looking around because Rick Rude sucks. It's like very whispery through. And all of a sudden, from all this stillness, he just grabs his headset and legitimately shatters it on the desk. And it makes like a boom like a shotgun. So strong. His hands were huge. And all of a sudden, just like he promised, Rick Rude sucks. It's happening all through the arena. And it's just him on this thing. And now he's like, so me, long
now we actually can relate to this.
Yes, yeah. It happens organically.
So I'm like, oh my God, this is my moment now. So of course I get up, I go to Rick like this, and then I walk to the edge of the thing, which like my legs are shaking, and I just do this. And I'm like, shh. Like I do a big, but very wrestling style.
Yeah.
And now they're screaming. They hate that, which I was just like, perfect. And I'm like, this is the best moment of my life. And then they started throwing food. And I don't know what kind of minor league baseball programs they have there, but I got hit in the back with a soft pretzel so hard that I was like, I saw
and you're up high too. You're
and we're on this little thing, and now drinks, and they're just like coming, and even the camera people, I saw the camera guy wrap his hand. This scared the shit out of me. He wrapped his hand around the base of the camera, like he was afraid he was going to get hit and knocked off, and we have nothing. And then out of nowhere, an orange comes flying, and it hits our announce desk so hard that the backstage blast sign falls off, and the orange explodes. And my heart is like ripping out of my chest. And I look over, and Rick is like as calm as possible. And just to me, because our headsets have been shattered, he goes, who brings an orange to a wrestling match? Who is this man?
That rocks.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a really fun time, and we were kind of talking about it before the show, the podcast taping. First couple years, we were rock and roll. We were the best. Like everyone loved us, and then WWE overtook us.
The Attitude Era,
and much better, compelling. I would DVR and watch it when I got home.
Sure, yeah.
And our show we had G.I. Bro as a character.
Yes.
Mike Awesome, the fat chick Thrilla was a character. The Dickheads, and we kept changing creative. So then, as crazy as the show would be, the next week it would be all new crazy stuff. And as an announcer, I'm supposed to thread the needle. And then it was what I used to tell my parents was like, sometimes, I used to take the bus to New York when I first moved there. And sometimes I'd be like, everyone's crazy on this bus. And then I took it every week. And then at one point I'm like, everyone is crazy on this bus. Like, this is me. Like, I can't make fun of this thing. It is my identity as well.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
it became devastating. And then we just got, the night we got
it's
fired,
fun to visit. And then when you're in there.
Like I'm not like watching from afar the performance art. I am the show.
Yeah.
We knew things were bad, but there was kind of rumblings that they had sold WCW to someone new and we were going to start over. And then I remember I decided not to go to Panama City Beach because I was just exhausted.
Was there a pay-per-view there?
It was so there was a Club La Vila.
Okay.
So it was a show we often would go to because it was a fun show, and it was actually like a kind of a lousy venue and stuff. But it was like we get to hang out and party. But I didn't want to, like, I was done partying. I didn't want to have fun. Like, it was miserable because everyone was like the backstage cutthroat stuff had just reached this like apex. And I was like, I'm just going to take a week off. They don't need me anyway. We have so many guys. And that was the time we did the simulcast where we found out that WWE had actually bought us.
Wow.
They bought
Oh,
us.
wow.
And we were on USA and TNT at the same time, which has never happened before or since. And essentially it was like their victory dance where they're like, you suck and we own you. But then at the end of the show, Shane McMahon, Vince's son, shows up and goes, which makes no sense. I really bought it. Like, you'd think there'd be, you'd know. And then we all thought, oh my God.
I remember this storyline.
And from home, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to keep us going. We still all have jobs, but now we're under the umbrella of this better company.
Yeah.
And now we can have a real wrestling war. And I was like, this is amazing. Actually, so I went from this super low to super high. Next morning, 9:01 a.m., I get a call from the office and they're like, yeah, let's talk about your severance package. We had really been fired on the air.
Yeah.
That's
when
crazy.
Vince did it. Like, that was binding. And yeah, that was the end. And it was the best. Trust me. Everyone I know who stayed, it's just a corruptive, rotting, corrosive environment to like exist in for your life.
It seems like a cutthroat environment because we've gotten to know some wrestlers over the
Some
time.
are great.
I mean, hey, I love Samoa Joe. But that world seems like doesn't seem like an easy world to be a part of.
But when I was younger, the fandom for WCW tended to be more in the South. It was a little bit more regional.
Yes.
But I was over here in California, lifelong SoCal surfer dude, and I just happened to watch WCW with my friends, and so I watched WCW basically almost through the tail end of the 2000s when it just like completely collapsed under its own weight. So like a lot of this is super familiar to me, and yeah, I 100% watched that slow decline into like this is just an unwatchable product now, unfortunately.
A grueling watch.
Yeah.
And
we also should do Doughboys live shows on like a elevated platform that's like 50 feet up.
four stories high.
Yeah,
Get the audience mad enough to throw food at us? Okay.
Mitch is just like,
Chad, we can talk about wrestling all day, but we got the business of the day. Clownkake. Clowns and Trader Joe's Furikake mix. This was your pitch.
Well, hold on. Just to be clear, everything under the title is my pitch. I did not pitch.
But you didn't pitch Clownkake.
I think it's a pretty clever portmanteau.
Okay.
Anyway, how did you get into clowning?
So so after the wrestling life, I became a screenwriter with the guy I used to record The Hotline with. And we had a bit of a run. We got on the Blacklist, which for your listeners, this is at a different time in 2007 where there was like this little group of producers and they're like, these are the best scripts not being made. It would get in all the trades. And if you got on the list, then you got meetings. And so
Commissioner Susser was on that list with Van Robichaux.
Yeah, with their script Chewy.
Chewy, yes.
What was your script? Can you give us
I
the title?
will tell you, it doesn't much like my impressions from my wrestling days. It was called Kamikaze Love.
Okay.
Two white cis men wrote this, and essentially it was. I remember I was writing with this guy, and we were writing all these terrible scripts together. And we're just like every like weird idea we can think of. In fact, the one that I remember we actually both laughed so hard we burst into tears because it was so bad is we wrote a script called Terminally Phil. And it was
Pretty
about a
good title.
frat that tricks a pledge into thinking he has stage 4 cancer so they can't get kicked off campus. And there's like a subplot where a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids start to blackmail the frat. I mean, by the way, every time I told this, we would tell this story as a cautionary tale in meetings and years later. invariably we stopped because every exec would be like, can we read that script? And we're like, no, we're telling you this is the story of when we found our voice because we were so. But
I had this. I used to have the same thing. And just to interject real quick, where I would like sometimes when I bring in one of these meetings, I was like, I got kind of a fake pitch to just kind of break the ice, and I would do. Mine was about a guy who took a bong hit so hard that he fell asleep and woke up 30 years later. It says, "Oh yeah, Bong Rip Van Winkle," and invariably people were like, "We love Bong Rip Van Winkle. Can we develop Bong Rip Van Winkle?" It's like, no, that you.
I'm so glad you can relate with it because they're just like you can't believe it, and so
we should make that though.
And honestly, I probably should just write Bong Rip Van Winkle and make a lot of money.
And honestly, I should just give a polish to Terminally Phil.
Yeah.
And you know what? I did create College Bound Pimp. That was my college. I did do it. So yes.
In the Terminally Phil, I just need to get this off my chest.
Yeah.
It culminates. So they end up taking these Make-A-Wish kids to Tijuana. This is a written script, Tijuana, so they can go to a brothel. And the one who is the most contentious and meanest to the frat guys is Hawking because he's in a wheelchair. And then Hawking gets sick on the trip. And so when he comes back, he's in a hospital. And we're reading the script out loud to each other. That's how we would read it out loud once we finished it.
Yeah.
Try to give it as much life as possible. And I remember JP, my partner, said it was like Derek grabbed Hawking's hand. He smiles, then dies. And we both looked at each other and we laughed so hard that it became like madness because we were like actually quite depressed at that we had done this. And like we were rolling on the floor, tears running. And then at that point, we were like, and then we ended up writing this other script that was like, we'd just seen Kung Fu Hustle. And we were like, oh, let's
Great movie.
Good
great movie. And we're like, we want to do something like that. And essentially it's just like, Japanese woman comes into a bar. She's like, I'm being human trafficked. Help me. The bartender decides to help. He ends up on the run with her.
Yeah.
And she ends up being like really good at martial arts. It's terrible. But anyway, people loved it. And we got all these meetings. And so at the time I started doing improv just because I was bored, right? Like I had this job where I was getting work, but like it was all weird, dumb movies.
I remember going to an improv show of yours on Melrose. Do you remember you did a show on Melrose?
Yeah, Catsby. I still do that show.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I still use it. It's now a clown show, but it was an improv show then.
But the script was successful enough for you to get steady work, like punching up other
12
scripts,
years,
pitching on
yeah.
things. Yeah. Writing your own stuff.
We got a bunch of development deals for network pilots. We open writing assignments for movies. Like it was like, and at that time, I think you can relate to this too.
Sure.
It's like, you're like, oh, this will just keep going forever.
Yeah.
Like it's just going to go for forever. And so I was
I think he doesn't like that part of it.
he's like, oh my God. He goes, my partner gets sick, for real, of course. Maybe this is all tied to Terminally Phil. I've never told this story in this order. But she gets sick. Like now I'm working these scripts and then she passes away.
Oh man.
And I'm just devastated. So
sorry. Yeah. She was very, very nice. And yes, she was a great person.
She was sweetie. And so I go back to improv and it's just like, what am I doing? Like, how many first dates at Applebee's am I going to go on? Like, I'm bored. And at the time, there was this little group of clowns. They were part of the Idiot Workshop. They were called Wet the Hippo. And this was during that boom when there was like 100 shows a night.
Yes.
So I was doing every show. I was in like 9 groups. And I would see them on occasion and they would go up and they were just being themselves, being dumb. And sometimes it was so funny, but most of the time it was unwatchable. But they loved it. Like the more we hated it, the more they looked at each other, and not in like a mean way, just like, oh my God, this. And I was just like, I'd feel so alive watching. So I was like, I got to figure out what this is. I go to a drop-in at the Idiot Workshop, which is run by John Gilkey. It's still around today. They still have classes. And I don't understand at all what it is. And so first I hated it because everyone's like doing warm-ups and it's all like glee, like they're all being really dumb. I'm like, oh fuck these. Like
right.
Oh, this is everything I hate about Los Angeles. Like I'm just hating every second of it. And then this is like my villain origin story. John, he's playing with them, but I don't understand that. He's throwing his shoe at them and he's like, this sucks. And I'm getting mad because I'm also like still like devastated in grief. I'm just in this space and I'm like, how dare this guy? These kids are idiots, but they're doing their best. Like they're not funny, but they're trying. Mm-hmm. And so I literally stand up in the middle of this drop-in and I go, oh, you think you're tough, huh? You think you're tough? You have these kids pay you money and then you yell at them? And he lights up because he's like, oh, this moron has no clue that like this is a game. And
Yeah.
he totally plays me. He goes, I'm so sorry. He goes, clearly you're someone of great importance and someone who should be taken seriously. Could you go behind the curtain and come out and show us what it looks like to be taken seriously so these kids can see? And I'm like, okay. And it's like, what? So I go back there. I'm like, what the fuck? What? And so I just kind of puff my chest out and I walk out and these fuckers they laugh the hardest I've ever gotten a laugh in my life because I'm so absurd that I'm just like I don't know what I'm doing. And I was so hurt. And I'm like, I'll never go back.
Yeah.
And then I just kept, for weeks after that, I went back to improv. I'm like, why did I get that laugh? Like, that laugh was so good.
You weren't trying to get a laugh.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I was like trying to be like this, trying to be important.
Mm.
And I was like, that's the best laugh. I've never gotten a laugh like that in my life. And so I went back and it was that second time I went and then it all tied together. I was like, it's wrestling. I was like, it's playing this exaggerated version of yourself. It's making a real connection and showing enough of yourself, but also having a fiction that you share with an audience. That it's like, this is a game we're playing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you to really believe in me for the time you watch it. And you get to be set free in that moment. And I get to be this like ultimate extension of myself and be as silly as I want or be as mean as I want because we're in this together and there's a real connection. And once that clicked, I was just like, oh, this is what I'm doing. And I still wrote for a few more years after that. But like I knew that day that I'm like, and also, I'm acting like Hollywood's like, come back and be a screenwriter. No one misses me. But I knew in that moment, I'm like, somehow this is going to be like central to my life because this is like the best I've ever felt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that rules. I also, by the way, like just kind of like between when you're talking about improv and clowning, it's that sort of thing of going up there and kind of living in the bomb, like if you bomb, living in it and like in feeling that, and like you were saying, improv will be very protective. But if when I've done your show and I go up there and I do something stupid that people don't like, it's fun to kind of like wear that with pride or something, which is you try to get away from that in improv if you're bombing, which I do a lot. You've worked with some of the best clowns in California. Have you ever worked with Nick's dad?
Okay.
Nick's dad, could you talk a little bit about his work?
He's a clown ass dad. He's like one of the best.
Retired chemistry professor.
He's a great man.
Oh, what a buffoonish character. It's such a good idea to like take that high status and be like, oh, I know chemistry.
Amelia said you had something to say about well, first of all, Josh Frankel is here, by the way.
Yes, Josh Frankel, our comics publisher, is sitting in, just hanging out. Hi, Josh.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I had a little time before, and I was like, oh, this thing's like, I mean, really funny.
It's great. They did a great job.
Alex Freer, Fred C. Stressing, Meg Casey, and of course Josh. Can't shout him out enough.
I mean, I wanted to be a clown when I was a kid, but I had the good sense not to be.
This is why I brought it. This is why I brought it up.
Yeah, Josh had dreams of being a clown. Amelia, you've dabbled in clowning.
Yes, I've dabbled in clowning. I took one of Chad's classes.
You also
learned nothing.
You're wearing a clown shirt right now, and you told us very enthusiastically, I have emergency clown stuff in my car.
Yes.
And then presented us with a bag.
I have a bag of tricks.
Okay.
I keep emergency.
Isn't that a
clown
quote
costumes.
from John Wayne Gacy?
So I'll show you my bag of tricks that I keep on me at all times.
Okay,
so
great.
You guys can wear whatever you want.
Okay, Amelia's going to bust out her bag of tricks. While we're doing this, when did you get into Furikake?
Okay, so recently, I was on my girlfriend took me to Costa Mesa on a birthday trip, and she just seen some sort of TikTok list of like good snacks from Trader Joe's, and I have been obsessed with this thing since. I think as terms of this is so, oh Lord. That's a good look for you, actually.
Mitch has for our audio listeners. Mitch has a classic sort of what is the clowning term for what his?
This is
thank you.
This is Bocelli. No, it just escaped me right now. But there's like
it's like
an opera clown.
Pagliacci.
Pagliacci.
He's got like a and I'm going to put on a matching one.
This is like a French style.
Frankel backing up those clown aspirations.
I've seen Pagliacci. It's also famously an operetta, not an opera, so half the length.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Hey, also in terms of these two, that fits. All right. Let me see here.
Yeah, so got kind of a lace collar and then a big pointy
This is
classic
not just
hat
you
with
guys
two
know this is not the work I do, but I'm
little black
And
things
Nick,
on
this
it.
is also pretty great.
Yeah.
We're giving you like ideas for presents for your dad for Christmas too.
It's a pointy hat, kind of like a dunce cap, and yeah, with a like a little black like fuzzy ball on it. I've got one. Mitch has two.
Where did your dad go to conservatory? Is it Paris or?
I studied at UC Riverside.
You know, I just want to say something though, Amelia, and I don't want to embarrass you, but let me say something about Amelia as a student.
Yes.
There are times where someone comes in and literally every choice they make is wrong. But in being wrong, they're so wrong that they are right.
Wow.
Amelia was half of that. She was the first part.
Just wrong.
Just wrong. And made things worse every single time. And then recently, having seen Amelia, I'm like, oh, right. Like this was like this very unpredictable energy. I had her do another show where, again, could not find a right answer to save her life and also traumatized a partner she had never met who froze multiple times.
Wow.
Oh, who?
Your partner
You
on
were
stage.
in a duo.
Yes, which one?
You were in the same
Well,
duo.
don't
I wanna
out the other
dox them.
person.
Wait, was that her first time doing it?
Oh, no.
Oh.
It seemed like yours.
It was
Oh
her-
yeah,
it was her
no, it
last
definitely
time.
was one of my
You were
first
like
times.
a raccoon in a dumpster. Like you were just scraping and rushing around
I
looking
basically did the opposite of whatever you said.
Yeah.
Chad is, but for our audio listeners, Chad has put on a classic red clown nose. I don't know if there's a technical term for that. And then this hat, this is the one that you were mistaken for.
It's a
You were-
jester's cap.
It's a jester's cap.
Yeah, like a French clown.
The French
You do
clown,
look
got
like
it.
your assistants in a way, Weiger and
A
I.
little bit, yeah.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
He's your number one. I'm your number two. It feels like.
I think if you see three clowns, two are dressed the same, you're pretty sure the one that's dressed different is in charge. Like, no, you would never do that in a status situation where you're like, you dress like me, you're my assistant. So
What you Amelia, you said that Chad described the
Oh,
Doughboys. There
yes.
was something.
So after your class, you asked me, I think where I work came into conversation.
yeah, we were just having like a normal conversation.
Yeah, normal conversation. And you were like, oh, I know the Doughboys. Nick and Mitch are the best example of real life clowns that I know. They're like the
Wow.
best clowns.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I think that is like the appeal of the podcast.
How dare you say that? Dressed up as
Yeah,
a clown.
Also, like things I like that I think are clown adjacent to the Doughboys podcast is Weiger puts a lot of energy into things that seem like they cannot succeed. Song parodies,
Sure.
long explanations, historical reference, and you commit 100%. You want them to work,
Yeah.
but by their very nature, they are like flawed and broken. And then Mitch comes in seemingly no preparation and makes these loud barking proclamations
Mhm.
that he almost always backtracks on, like within seconds of doing, because he doesn't get any response from.
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
are two like very big clown dynamics.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel like I think we're very clown-like in many
Yeah.
ways.
I don't think it's. Of course, I'm a clown. It's a compliment for me.
Okay. All right.
Well, this is what today was gonna. We were gonna debate this. It was gonna be a debate day because
wow.
we have a debate later.
I didn't
but-
sign off on this, but yeah.
Are clowns? We were gonna say, are clowns more funny or more scary?
I
'Cause
think
there's
this was-
a lot of clowns, scary clowns.
Yeah, there's certainly the scary clowns phenomenon we remember from about a decade ago was very much in the zeitgeist.
I've joined this Facebook group that is a clowns only Facebook group, and almost every post is like a battle between trad clowns and scare clowns.
Wow.
So I'm also a theatrical clown, so they just ignore me. Like, and I never post either. But the trad clowns are just like, where are you getting your white mat? Like, I got these new juggling balls. They're too heavy. Like, they're very much like birthday parties, and they're working on skill acts. And the scare clowns are like, got a new look, and it's just like blood dripping out of their mouths. And then they gently argue. I would say that like the spectrum of clowns, it's hard to say like what they're meant to do.
Yeah.
They're meant to make you feel something. So for me, a scare clown is just as valid. Like,
Oh, okay. All right. I was gonna ask you
Yeah,
this.
Sure.
yeah,
All right, yeah.
like, I think like a good haunted house type like terror experience,
Yeah.
that's super immersive. And the clown does have a relationship. And if a scare clown is doing their job right, they're not just like petrifying you without purpose. You're having a great time.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like also metering out how they play with you. Right. And they're also responding to how you play back.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, yeah, why not? And I also think their makeup and their costuming and stuff like that, there's so much love and care in it. So, and to say that, I think a lot of people who dress like scare clowns have no idea what they're doing and just.
I just can't. I'm just looking at Nick listening to you.
You're wearing the same fucking thing.
I know I am.
Hey, Nick.
It's just very funny.
It's nice though.
Fun fact: the plot of Pagliacci is he becomes the first killer clown because his wife is cucking him.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've never heard it said like that, but that is 100%
I
right.
feel like it's very Doughboys code.
Yeah, 100%.
I was just gonna say, Nick, did you ever think you'd become your dad?
Okay.
It happens to all of us.
Furikake typically consists of a mixture of dried fish or freeze-dried eggs, sesame seeds, dried seaweed flakes, sugar, and salt. It came into usage as a term in the 1950s, but it has existed in various forms for a long time, for most of the 20th century. And specifically, Chad, you shouted out Trader Joe's Norikomi Furikake Japanese multi-purpose seasoning. This is a like basically a shaker that they have that they recommend as a topper for rice, eggs, ramen, popcorn, sriracha fries, etc. Is there anything in particular, like what is your most typical use case for your Furikake seasoning?
It's good on, like, what it does is, like, if you take like a starch, like a rice, right? It brings in almost it brings in like an umami, it brings in a saltiness, and it brings in a sweet, and like it's almost in perfect measure.
I think it's what they often put on top of amasubi and stuff, like the little hand.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Like that
Yeah.
same, like seasoning. Mix.
Onigiri
And you could also
too,
put it on
Yeah.
popcorn, like
Yeah.
anything kind of with like I'd say like a neutral base. It sort of it like really pops it, and like so already I love that. And then like I think they like whatever that spirit of it is in the snack mix, it's like it's like Pinocchio come to life.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh, this is what I'm getting out of it. It's like it provides a richness and sort of like a depth of flavor to something that otherwise, you know, just kind of has like a singular thing like rice.
You're selling me on it.
Why is everyone so fixated on adapting Pinocchio? Why is that like every director's dream project? Like we all want to make Pinocchio. We love Pinocchio. We're fascinated. Like everyone's making a fucking Pinocchio.
It wasn't Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro made a Pinocchio that I didn't see people said was pretty good. Robert Zemeckis made a Pinocchio recently, the live action version of the Disney one. But like, you know, there's the Roberto Benigni, his big follow up to Life is Beautiful was a Pinocchio thing that was this total boondoggle.
Yeah, we don't need to see anymore.
Pinocchio obsession?
I know that there was a consortium of investors that wanted to do like kind of like a live Pinocchio experience, one of which was Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Praying
Cracks.
dolls become real boys. I'm getting some Furikake out here now.
Okay.
Oh, go on.
What I'm going to say is I'm going to ask you to experience it two ways.
Sure.
Both oral.
Okay. All right.
One is feel free to just take whatever you want in your hand, but then you do have to like taste them indivially.
Okay.
And I don't think that's always true about a trail or snack.
Yeah, sure. A gorp, if you will.
Yeah. Like
what?
Gorp.
Was that gorp is grapes?
I think it's like
Boy Scout thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
But it means something,
it's an
doesn't it?
acronym, but I forget what those things stand for.
One's peanuts, raisins, are the back two.
Yeah, peanuts, raisins, granola, and I don't know, oatmeal or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Good old raisin and peanut.
Good old raisin peanuts.
Okay, that's
I
sure.
think that's like the classic.
Yeah, and that's
Trail
also
mix.
the sweet and salty and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But again, we have umami too in here, like that flavor. So did you try a little bit?
Not yet. I was going to hand on, but I will right now. I'm gonna try one each one individually.
This is for people. We're tasting the Trader Joe's Furikake snack mix. So this is not the.
Oh, I got almost all.
This is one that has used some of their shaker mix. This has not been made with their shaker. This includes mochi crisps with sesame sticks, corn chips, wasabi-style peas, waffle crisps, sesame seeds, and seaweed. Sounds like a lovely combination.
A great crunch to it. I just had one of these white puff pieces alone.
These are the mochi crisps.
Yeah, I feel like I got a lot of mochi in
I got
mine.
100. I got almost all mochi, but these are my favorite.
This sumbitch needs to be shaken up a little bit.
Here it goes.
Oh my god! Isn't it ever? It's like
I had a pretzel piece right now, and it's very, very good. Did you get is there a little wasabi pea in there? I didn't get a wasabi.
there are wasabi peas in there. The corn chip is the worst of them.
This is I mean, the problem. There's some design flaw here because this is the top of the bag is all these mochi crisps.
Is this?
Speaking
My
of
hat fell off.
flaws,
Is this what's the corn? Is this the corn chip? No,
no, that's the sesame wheel.
sesame wheel. Okay,
Try
That
that.
pretzel was fucking good.
a lot of different flavors between each piece. You're not
I
wrong.
gotta tell you,
This is
the,
really
the
yummy. It's a
amount
great
of mochi
crunch.
crisps in here is insane.
It's too many.
It doesn't usually come like that.
I almost feel like Amelia might have opened this.
No,
I've
I
done
didn't.
this.
You
Amelia?
you opened it right here.
Amelia.
Isn't
And
that
there's
the-
a second unopened
Aren't you the one who opened it?
Is that the same
Oh yeah, I
thing?
opened it.
There's a second unopened one if you want to
That's the
compare.
exact same thing. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
open that other bag and see if there's too much in that
What do you
one.
think of the mochi crisp?
I think the mochi crisps are delicious.
I could,
Uh,
you know,
Little sweet, little umami, like you're saying. I love
it's
the
the
seaweed.
opposite of a Brazil nut
Yeah.
in the sense that it is the star, and it could survive on its own, but instead it chooses to be in a mix.
So you're
Mm.
not mad that you have a heppy bag full of it.
No, these are kind of, sometimes at the end I'll look for these.
Yeah.
These are really fucking good.
This is really good. I'm trying to find the wasabi peas. Which
Definitely get a wasabi pea; they're very good.
I got wasabi pea.
where is it? Wait, let me see it.
It's a little guy.
It is a little guy.
Yeah.
Shit, what the fuck? Oh, I got one.
I will say that
Like-
they could use a little more. Of
Like
the-
looking under your waistband.
Think my balls look like this? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that
Do
was
they
the
end up all at the
implication.
bottom because they're so little?
What the
I'm
fuck,
talking
Dave?
about the peas. I'm talking about the peas.
Also,
The peas are good.
also strangely hairless. Also talking about the peas.
Yeah.
Wasabi peas. You're right that each
Really yummy.
individual. Deus, would you guys like some?
Yeah, you guys really should try this.
Oh, there's two bags here, right? Oh, that's
Same thing.
this bag is the
Is
same
there a way
thing,
to
right?
get
Here.
this into a bowl so that we can like mix it outside of
That's
the
a
bag?
great call. And then we got here.
This was just something I picked up because I was like, let me get a
Ooh.
backup bag just in case. I knew Amelia was doing this, and you've worked with Amelia and had good experiences. So
Yes.
you have to understand I'm coming from a very different place.
Oh no, she's insane. We know
yeah.
we know this now.
And I saw this, and I was like, I thought it's a Tom Yum trail mix.
Oh, that's fun.
yeah, this is
yeah,
fun.
which is like my favorite Thai soup.
Yeah, Tom Yum was great.
Chad, I have a question for you.
Tom Yum
Yes.
is right.
Yeah, Tom Yum is right. Has there anyone that you've worked with? You know, and even in the shows I've done, I've seen some people get a little defensive. You know, like
Oh yeah.
has there anyone that you've worked with that just completely doesn't get it?
Do you mean because you tend to like I have not experienced the show, but my understanding is that you are involved in like kind of roasting and
So-
directing it to some degree.
I'll give you a really quick like elevator pitch on what the show
Yeah.
is. So the show essentially is I play this character, the clown boss, who is me also, and I sort of modeled this like it's after like how I teach, which is like I tease and roast a lot when I'm teaching. I use this method to sort of get people off balance and like get them having more fun, but also to confuse them so they do things that surprise them and get laughs.
Yeah, sure.
So I heighten that up even like to double for the show, and I act like I'm a gatekeeper for all performers to prove they're real artists. And then I have comics do silent, abstract exercises to music. And then either like they do it right, and by right, the audience likes it. There is no like objective right. Or they do it wrong, and I roast them, and then we play together. And like me being upset with them is part of what makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of my favorite people who like struggled, but we had Brooks Whelan and John Daly on.
Oh, I love both of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Past
and,
Doughboys guest.
and I could see like before the show, both of them were like really like hitting the Elysian fridge and had a few beers, right? And also Brooks had 2 beers in both pockets of his windbreaker.
Alpha.
And so I'm sort of giving like beforehand, I'm not in character yet. And I could see they're kind of like being like cool high school kids. They're just nervous. You know, they've never done this before. Again, I like these guys. And they come out and they've already decided that they're going to like really push back against me. One of the things in the show, which I told you, I tell everyone, is I'm like, let me just roast you. I was like, just be up there, be vulnerable, see what happens when the audience recognizes that you need their help to survive. Because then they're going to give you a different type of love. And then you're not judged on the merit of your work. You're judged on your effort. And I was like, and that's a more fun place to play because then you can do all kinds of stuff. Well, these two go up and they're both like funny and fast. And so they're like coming at me, both of them. And we're going back and forth. And I do this for a second. I'm like, I'm not doing this with them. And they're roasting me and I just wait. And after they're like, I let them get it all out, and I just turn to the audience and I go, "Is this what you all want?" And then there's a pause, and then all of a sudden they start vociferously booing them, right? And so their first reaction is to kind of be like pro wrestling heels and go like puff their chests out, and then, which I didn't think was possible because of how loud it was, it gets twice as loud.
Wow.
And then they're like little boys on stage. Oh, no, no, no. And so from that point, so they bombed there. They came out later and they were like, I guess we have to try. And like, so that's the kind of stuff that happens.
Yeah.
There have been a couple people who've come on, and I take responsibility for this. I don't think maybe I explained well enough, like the game, or maybe I didn't also think about like where they're coming from as performers, and they didn't have the best time. I'd say like 2 people out of maybe 50 or 60 that, and like those were learning experiences for me.
Right.
Because the thing is, it's all a game and it's all play, but there are times when we can't remove ourselves from like it feels personal and real. And so that happened a couple times. I made adjustments. It really hasn't happened since. But in general, people sort of feel liberated to just kind of do stuff and be dumb and not have to worry about a million things and do very simple, dumb things. And you've been on the show twice?
Yes. Yeah.
Both times, to Mitch's credit, Mitch has crushed on the show.
Okay.
He's like a show favorite,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm ready to bomb. I'm ready to come there and bomb. It will happen.
Listen, you have had bad moments.
Oh, of course.
I'm ready to bomb. Listen to this. Is that how you accept a compliment? Christ almighty. Hey, if I fail, I guess by accident, I'm okay with it. You have absolutely had moments where you and Gabrus ate shit in the first half, and then you really crushed in the second.
Yeah, we came back pretty good.
You came back pretty good. You did.
We came back pretty good. It wasn't any sort of Amelia type shit where she was.
Yeah.
I won't mention names.
I got scared and I had to put it on you.
Yeah, well, I won't mention names, but something happens quite a bit is like I'll just see someone kind of have like an epiphany on stage, and then afterwards, like they'll just be like, "Oh my God, like this is what like I want stand-up to be." Because there's an issue with stand-up where you're part of this like stand-up industrial complex, right? And there's like a way it's done and a speed to which you do it and these metrics that you have to reach. And it's like not everyone plays the same. Not everyone has the same sense of humor, but the clubs want you to be completely interchangeable. They want to be able to swap you in and out. So the more you're the same.
You're speaking as a stand-up. You're someone who does stand-up. Yeah.
So but when I do stand-up, everything in my being is breaking every rule I can.
Right, but you're talking from a place of experience here.
Yes,
So
I've done a bunch of stand-up and I've been at these clubs. And like I said, there are people also, the way stand-up works, they're built for it. And the way you write jokes and laughs per minute and stuff, they're built for it. And there's all these other wonderful artists who, if you just put a microphone in front of them in a crowd, they can crush if they do it their way, if they're true to their authenticity. And so like I've had definitely people come through and then I've worked with them and like been like, "Oh, you can do whatever you want." Like the audience isn't like, this isn't what the other guy did. Like they just want to laugh. And so that's like one of the most rewarding parts is like when you see someone who has all this like physical play gifts and are really foolish and dumb in a weird way to sort of say to them, yeah, people will laugh at this. Just go do that.
Yeah, to quote the late, great Harris Whittles, motherfuckers just want to laugh.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, Amelia, I have to take – how long was I supposed to wear this?
As long as you want.
Oh, I'm going to take it
Who was
off
the
as
clown
well.
you got mistaken for when you were wearing – was it that hat? You were at a Renaissance fair.
Pomni
Pomni.
from the Amazing Digital Circus, which I don't
right.
watch.
I got another handful.
I think our listeners who are parents maybe are familiar with this because kids love it.
This is crazy. This is so much.
This is the Tom Yum seasoned snack mix. I'm trying.
There are cashews in that, Wags.
Good to know. Thank you.
You can avoid. You can avoid them.
Should be okay.
Pretty easy.
You have like a light allergy?
No, I have here's the thing. Tree nuts are generally fine. It's just I've developed a late in life peanut allergy, which I didn't realize it was a thing that could happen. But cashews are usually fine.
Oh my God.
It's very Tom Yummy.
Oh my God.
That's what I'll say.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
A lot of citrus. Here's the thing.
I think I like the Furikake Trader Joe's better than
the Furikake is 100% better. Here's the issue.
Is good.
The citrus, like the artificial citrus, the artificial lime in particular, is so potent.
The lime, and
I do like the, I do like the elements of basil, and I do like the, I'm a bit of a heat seeker, so I like that this has a little bit of spice to it, but the artificial lime just tastes so sciencey. Like it tastes like a candy.
That's
component.
always my issue with lime, to be honest. The hint of lime Tostitos, I don't like them.
Yeah, and where's the the coconut is being completely choked out
Great
by
point.
the lime.
Yeah.
I would say though, for this one, the Tom Yum, imagine if you had like a full fat yogurt. Like if you had something to counter and add a little like coolness and like, whereas I think the Furikake is just like on its own, just eating, watching a movie or whatever. It really holds up. But I gotta tell you, having it though, the longer it sits in my mouth, the more like I want to taste it again.
Yeah, sure.
Tom
Same.
Yum.
But the Trader Joe's Furikake is
That's a home run.
Yeah.
just that you can pick little flavors that you like out of it. That's what I like.
Can we go for a second if we're going to talk like, look, we can sit here and praise it all day.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we gain? We only learn from our mistakes.
This is true.
And if I can grab this for a second,
Please.
if you don't mind me putting my fingers in it.
I don't
Please.
mind.
You can't even find one just to prove it. Okay, this is the best corn chip I can find. How anemic is this?
Yeah, the corn chips are a bit of a letdown.
Kind of looks like a broken Frito.
It does. It looks like a third of a
And
Frito.
by broken, I think you mean like emotionally, spiritually,
Right.
You know, like
giving up on life.
basically pulled up and like saw like their wife like making out with a man in
Yeah.
the bedroom
Big
window.
cuts, Yeah.
Like to put so much love into the mochi crisp because there's love in this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of that, the mochi crisp.
The
And-
corn chip
and-
feels like just like cheap filler.
It feels like they just got tired at the end.
Yeah.
And they're like, I guess, you know,
But you like this mix, don't you? Isn't this the mix?
this is me. You know what? If you're my student,
Mhm.
you get it the hardest.
Okay.
If I think when that came out, that's a cancelable statement. I swear to God, if you motherfuckers clip that, if
We
you're my
won't.
student, you get it the hardest, and then that's just all it is. No, but what I
You
mean
won't
is,
do that, right, Wags?
We won't do it.
oh, you two rascals in your hats.
What?
We won't do that.
Can I?
But
ask-
you're basically saying if someone is doing everything mostly right, that's the sort of person you feel most comfortable being critical about.
And this Trader Joe's Furikake
Is that?
I would say this: the two kinds of clowns I'll be meanest to is the clown that's just so close to like having it all,
Yeah.
and the clown that has nothing.
Mm.
And I'm barely interested in the middle. In general, I'll find something to do, but like
Can you tell us what Nick and I are?
in terms of clowns,
Yeah. Are we the one that has nothing, or are we slightly in the middle?
Honestly, in a strange way, I think Weiger is more of a clown because I don't think Weiger understands like why he's funny.
Mm.
Like I said before, I think there's like so much going on
Right.
with Weiger, and they're like for someone, and again, this is just me, like because we're just like as an academic.
For sure.
Your dad's an academic, you get it.
Very much so.
Also a clown.
Okay.
Like for someone who presents as so homogenized and vanilla,
Mm-hmm.
like just everything about you.
Just to note, vanilla is a flavor. It's an exotic bean.
See,
I didn't say vanilla bean ice cream. I said
Yeah.
vanilla.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing applies.
If there's no vanilla bean, I would say it's just vanilla is just okay. But I'm not going to get into this with you. I know you've gone through this for years. As someone who, like, could be like at 50 crime scenes for murders they committed, and the police never pick them out of the crowd, like that energy.
For all we know, very possible.
Yeah.
A
Not
rich
denying it.
internal. You have such a rich internal life of like things going on in how you process information, and also how you value the things you offer.
Mm.
And here we just have like a 2-cell organism. This is just a 2-cell organism. And he's not even using the second cell. That's just there for width.
Right.
So like in a weird way, I'm more fascinated by this clown.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, oh, if we can crack whatever's going on in there is like batshit crazy. Like what's
But
the
sometimes-
underwell.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of fun to hang with that 2-cell organism.
No,
isn't it?
2-cell's always the life of the party.
Yeah.
But also the 2-cell is like by definition tragically simplistic.
Mm.
You're like a box of crayons, they're all the same color. And you're like a box of crayons with a series of browns and blacks. Like,
Right.
but like 50 different, like you're like, wait a minute, there is a lot going on here. We just can't tell just by looking at
Yeah,
it.
there's a burnt sienna and a charcoal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, oh,
different hues.
You have a lot of notes.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're a kazoo. But again, we love a fucking kazoo.
We do.
And like, yeah, and I'm guessing your whole life you've like sort of, you felt like people liked you.
Yeah, I would. There, you know, yeah. I think so. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I had to try quite a bit to make. I wanted them to know that they liked me,
but see, you're getting the order wrong.
Yeah.
You were already trying, and that's why they liked you.
Yeah.
Like you weren't going in being like, I'm going to play it cool. That's never happened in your fucking life.
No.
You were always through the door trying way too hard.
Yeah.
And also apologizing for things no one asked for.
Yeah.
That's true. You
And
do that.
in doing so, we are endeared to this clown because they're like, they want our love so bad. But you have a complicated relationship on how you receive love and how you like you just don't want love. Like you want love a certain way, which I wouldn't claim to totally understand yet. But it's just like it has to go through levels. And there's like trust issues. And there's also ways you view yourself that probably don't reflect the way we like. Mitch gets it. Mitch knows exactly what we see.
Sure.
You know, if Ronald McDonald and Shrek had a baby, right? Like it's like he gets it.
Yeah.
But you actually are navigating a lot more internal stuff in terms of how you receive our affection and what you feel you have even the right to be proud for.
I'm like if Jeffrey Dahmer and Ghislaine Maxwell had a baby. No, I get what you're saying. I think a lot of people think I'm a bit inscrutable. They can't quite read me. They don't know what's going on behind my eyes. And I think I've gotten people who are like maybe like think I'm a little standoffish when I'm trying to be pleasant. They think I'm maybe threatening when I'm trying to be kind. I've gotten a lot of different reactions of just. I think my natural disposition is a little off-putting to people, but also a lot of people find me quite affable, and so it's just I think it's just all contextual.
But so much of that has to do with how you receive affection, validation. Like so much of that, just like I said with like Mitch, like just like stumbling into a room, you know, like he's just like a bag full of Shar-Pei puppies, you know, like where you're like a puzzle to solve a little bit, and that's partly because you are metering how you receive from others.
I got some, I've talked about this before on the podcast before, but like when I was in college, I started getting like love letters from girls who admired me from afar in high school. And one of them was like, it was just emails. One of them was basically, characterized it as like, you were always so polite, but I was afraid to approach you. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, I was both pleasant, but also, again, kind of off-putting.
A little protective.
Exactly, yeah.
But you're also, like, super funny and silly. Like, it's just as, like, there's no, like, you're not sillier than Nick and vice versa. Like, you might be even weirder in a lot of ways.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, like, that, but it goes through, like you said, this filter.
Right.
Yeah. Like, again, like, 1D drawing. This is a 1D drawing. This is like if you were like at the Santa Monica Pier and the caricature person was like, my car's running. So, and then like, that's Mitch.
Yeah.
And it's fun. But yeah, you're like, and I'm not saying like you're like a Monet or anything like that. If anything, you're like sort of like a Marina Abramovich where we're like, do we want this?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like this is a lot. This is a lot of stuff going on. I don't know what to feel about it. And maybe no thanks. But also in that there's a fascination. So I think that's a really good quality.
You know, I think you're a benevolent zodiac. How does that sound?
A Zodiac killer?
Yeah, Zodiac killer. Benevolent Zodiac. Also, if I had to guess what you're going to do tonight, can I take a guess at what you're going to do tonight? You're going to go home and re-loop all your wires in your house. Because you learned that you looped them the wrong way.
And he's going to keep throwing them to see if they unfurl.
Chad, any final thoughts on clowning and or Furikake mix?
Oh, I have just two final thoughts on both.
Yeah, please.
I'd say with clowning, understand that like so many things, it's on a spectrum. And so what we're talking about is like a certain thing that's happening in LA. Sometimes we call it plainclothes clown, but it's simply like this pursuit of being in situations where you're working past your discomfort. And you're doing so with joy, positivity, and curiosity. And it doesn't have to be funny, but I think why people are so interested right now is because at a time where like we feel so disconnected in general, to go into a room and someone to allow you to see how they play and how they truly feel about you, and also not be angry if you don't like them, and instead look for ways to connect with you, I think that's really palpable. And, and that's all we're trying to do. And it looks a million different ways. And all kidding aside, I'm always telling Amelia to do more because I think Amelia is a truly unique individual. And I think
Thank you.
And
That's nice to say.
yeah, and like by the way, it might go terribly. No, but like in general, what we want is for people to get on stage and feel like whatever they truly feel represents them, if it comes from joy, curiosity, and positivity, that they can just be that thing. And I think that's really something that's going on. And it's in terms of these two mixes.
Yes.
I would say that with the Furikake, don't eat it too late.
Yeah.
And this is more practical advice. This is not a snack mix to open at midnight or 1 a.m. It's got a high sodium rate.
Right.
It's hard to stop. And every time I've done it, I believe the term is the rumblies.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this is an afternoon snack that you meter out into a small bowl and then zip up and put away.
You got to transfer it from the package.
You got to.
I think this is a good game day snack. Put it up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think. By the way, in a mix of just like wings and like to have something a little. I call this gentle appropriation from Trader Joe's. Like it's like their. I was like, it's just like it feels like if you have an aunt that has like a taco casserole. Like a white aunt, you're like, she means well, and I feel like that's this, and it definitely brings, and I'm going to hold off, and maybe I'll post after this comes out how I feel about the Tom Yum.
Okay.
Because the more I think about it, like this is what I have this game called Cluck Mary Kill. It's a clown edition of Fuck, Marry, Kill because I realized in class I shouldn't be like, who do you want to fuck up here?
Sure.
I was like, that felt bad. And what I mean by that is like there's a clown we want to marry and it's like, oh my God, I would spend every day with you. You're just a delight. You're so sweet. And then there's the cluck, which is like, oh, you're like cheese fries at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Like you're like that cigarette that we sneak, we haven't smoked in a month.
Yeah.
Or this and that. And Tom Yum, it might be a cluck.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that. I agree with that 100%. I think they're both snacks to be clear. In the snack,
not whack.
They're not whack.
They're snacks. They're not wax, but the Furikake makes you merry. Yeah, for sure.
Put a ring on it.
By the way, my mom and sister keep trying to FaceTime me. Should I answer the FaceTime in this clown outfit?
Yeah, sure.
Please
see what
do
happens.
it.
Let's see here.
Hello, Mrs. Griffin. What? Oh, there he is.
Oh.
What is on your head? Is happening.
I'm recording Doughboys.
What? Are you a clown?
All right, I love you both.
Oh my God.
What,
Hi,
Ma?
Mrs. Mitchell. Hi, Courtney from Weiger.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh.
We're clowns.
Hat on too, Nick.
Yeah, Nick does have a hat on as well. All right.
Oh, everyone looks so good.
All right, Ma. I love you. I'm working, as you can see.
It's a little different from how a lot of people work, but I appreciate it.
It counts.
It counts.
You get paid
What? Wait, Ma, what are you saying?
I do. I said, have a good night, but make sure you and Weiger take your costumes off before you go out.
We'll take them off before we go to bed.
I might leave it on.
We're to bed.
All right. Love you both. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, that was everything I'd hoped it was.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Chad Damiani, thank you so much for coming on the show. You got to come back in the main feed. We got to talk food. We got to talk more wrestling. We got to talk more clowning.
I'd love it. Like I said, I'm a genuine fan of the show. I think you guys
God
do a
bless
great
you.
job. And also like all the tertiary characters.
I did not know what to expect going into your show, but if you're ever out in LA, go see Stand Up and Clown. You will have
It's
a
a good
blast.
Yeah. Please take a second and plug Stand Up and Clown and anything else you'd like to.
Oh,
promote.
I would just say I'm at the Chad Damiani on Instagram. That's where I plug all my shows and stuff. And Next year, we are already part of Netflix's A Joke Festival. We're going to San Francisco Sketch Fest.
awesome.
Wow.
Usually it's last Mondays in LA, but just follow me on Instagram and come out. And if you do and you've heard this podcast, bring someone and tell them nothing. Like, tell them it's just a clown
I didn't know
show.
anything when I went.
And it's a little jarring.
It's a little jarring, but it was so much fun. And we were a little late getting to the theater, so Mike and I got put in extra seats that were basically on the stage. So we were like on stage with
splash
the clowns.
zone.
It was the splash zone for
COVID splash
sure.
zone.
Yeah. I put eyeliner on one of the clowns. It was wild. It was such a good time.
I will tell you, this year, the thing that I saw in this show, and it's just as an example, like, if you come, you are most likely going to see something you never saw, was Courtney Peroso, who just had a dropout special. Like, one of my best friends, one of the most brilliant clowns, like, in town. She got so desperate during her turn, and she's a new mother, that she couldn't figure out how to do a magic trick. So she just pulled her shirt up and squirted the entire audience with breast milk.
Wow.
I mean, back 4 rows.
That's
And
talent. baby.
Power move.
Unhinged. And we all sat in this unhinged laughter and howling. I got on stage. I'm just like, oh, we got to ride this out. And I just stood there like frozen, like, oh my God. And that's how I felt. And I was like, this will be like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, it's over 2 minutes of just everyone just like, and that's like when it's good, these shows, it really does feel like everyone goes Lord of the Flies in a good way. Pre-Piggy's death.
Yes.
Pre-Piggy.
I got to
Lord of
come to the
Flies.
show more often is all I got to say.
But yeah, please come out. And I also do like a lot of solo stuff. And that's all on my, follow my Instagram. You can see right now I'm working a character that's only doing smart comedy. And so that's going really well. So his name's Kruger Dunn. And look out for Kruger.
Hell yeah, I love Kruger. I got to look up Kruger Dunn myself. I'm going to do it after the record.
I'm Kruger Dunn.
No, I know. I knew that.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not that.
Are you doing a fucking improv scene with me?
No.
I swear to God, I'll lose it.
The 2 cells. I can know some stuff. I know I'm
The 2 cells are on your hat, right?
Yeah, that's the 2 cells. That's so good.
I'm done.
That's this week's Doughboys Double Bye.
Bye.
Doughboys.